Today, I'm gonna tell you about how I got banned from every grocery store in a 5-mile radius while trying to find my future wife in aisle 7. I'm Nick, the Stallion, Navarro, but my friends call me Stolly. One day, I might tell you why, if you can handle it. But before we dive into this legendary disaster, let me tell you who Uncle Stolly really is. I'm the guy who thinks he's smoother than he actually is, living with my parents while convincing myself I'm just saving money for the right opportunity. I've got a best friend called Captain Cock Block who's basically a walking disaster, and I call all of you my puppies. Because, well, you're about to witness me get trained like one. I've got more confidence than skill, more dreams than success, and more stories of epic failures than anyone should have at my age. But hey, that's what makes life interesting, right? Strap in, puppies. This ride's about to crash beautifully. My puppies, this legendary disaster started when Captain Cockblock told me about his cousin meeting his girlfriend at the supermarket. Suddenly Uncle Stolly saw the light grocery stores or gold mines, domestic goddesses buying wine, single ladies shopping for one, perfect hunting ground for a smooth operator. I spent a morning researching what attracts women at grocery stores online. The answer? Guys who cook. So I grabbed my dad's cookbook and headed to Freshmart, ready to play sophisticated chef. The plan was simple: browse gourmet sections, strike up cooking conversations, let the ladies witness my culinary expertise. What could go wrong? There I was, pushing my cart through those automatic doors like I owned the place. I'd practiced my opening lines. Do you know if this olive oil pairs well with wild salmon? Pure genius, my puppies. I started in produce, examining tomatoes like a wine expert. That's when I spotted her, a TV goddess holding a shopping list, looking confused near the herbs. My moment had arrived. Having trouble finding something? I asked, flashing my legendary smile. She looked up, and holy hell, puppies, this heartbreak machine had blonde hair and the kind of smile that makes little Stolly stand at attention. I need fresh basil, but I have no idea what it looks like. She laughed. Well, you're in luck, I replied, grabbing random green leaves. This is premium basil, perfect for homemade pesto. I make mine from scratch every weekend. Of course, I'd never made pesto in my life, but she didn't need to know that. She seemed impressed, asking about my cooking background. I went full Stolly mode, inventing culinary school stories and weekend catering jobs. Maybe you could give me tips sometime, she said, and I almost fainted in the herbs section. We exchanged numbers and agreed to meet the next week for a shopping tour. Uncle Stolly was already planning our wedding. But here's where I start getting screwed, puppies. What I grabbed was actually lettuce, not basil, but I was too deep in the lie to back down. I spent the week watching cooking shows, memorizing food facts. The day arrived, and there I was by the entrance in my best shirt, waiting for Ashley like the smooth operator I believed myself to be. She showed up looking like a marvel of television, and our shopping tour began. Everything was perfect. I was dropping vegetable knowledge, explaining meat cuts, discussing wine pairings like a true expert. Then disaster started brewing in the pasta aisle. Ashley picked up linguine and asked about the difference between it and fettuccine. Linguine is basically skinny fettuccine, I said confidently. Same thing, different marketing. An Italian couple nearby heard this culinary blasphemy. The husband started laughing while his wife shook her head. They approached us. Excuse me, but that's completely wrong, the man said in a thick accent. Linguine and fettuccine are different shapes, different textures, for different sauces. My face turned red, but I doubled down. Well, in culinary school we learn. Which culinary school? The wife asked, raising an eyebrow. Pause for reflection. By the way, if you're enjoying this story, hit that like button. It really helps me keep these coming. My puppies, I was trapped. I started naming random cooking shows, claiming they were schools. The Italian couple wasn't buying it. Ashley looked embarrassed, and Uncle Stolly was officially exposed. In panic mode, I decided to demonstrate proper shopping techniques. I grabbed Ashley's hand and said, "Let me show you how to pick the perfect avocado." I started squeezing avocados with professional intensity, giving detailed ripeness explanations. Problem was, I squeezed too hard. One exploded in my hand, spraying green pulp on my shirt, then another, and another. "Sir," called a store employee, "you need to stop destroying the produce." But I was in full panic mode. While cleaning up the mess, I knocked over an orange display. Oranges rolled everywhere as Ashley jumped back. "I can fix this," I shouted, trying to stack oranges with avocado-covered hands. Everything was slippery. More oranges fell, creating bigger disaster. That's when security appeared with the store manager, a woman who looked like she could bench press Captain Cockblock. "What's going on here?" she demanded, surveying the produce carnage. I tried explaining it was a minor shopping demonstration, but the Italian couple told their side. Ashley mentioned the basil incident from last week. Uncle Stolly faced a grocery store tribunal. The manager looked at me, the destroyed avocados, the orange obstacle course. "Sir, you need to leave, and don't come back." But here's the real twist, puppies. As I'm being escorted out, feeling lower than little Stolly after a cold shower, Ashley stops me in the parking lot. "Wait," she says, "that was actually kind of sweet." I couldn't believe it. Sweet? I just got banned from Freshmart. "Yeah, but you were trying so hard to impress me." It was charming, in a weird way. She asked me for coffee, wanting to hear real stories about myself. We went to a nearby cafe where I confessed my cooking expertise meant I could barely make toast without burning it. She laughed, shared her own embarrassing stories, and we had an amazing time. But there's always one final twist with Uncle Stolly Adventures. As we're saying goodbye, she gives me her real number and says, "Call me this weekend, but maybe we should stick to restaurants." I agreed, feeling like the smoothest operator in town. That's when I realized something blood-freezing, puppies. During all the Fresh Mart chaos, I completely forgotten my cart full of groceries, $200 worth of food charged to my dad's borrowed credit card. Not only was I banned from the store, but I also had to confess everything to my parents and work extra shifts to pay back the grocery bill. Captain Cock Block never let me forget about getting banned for aggressive avocado handling. That's how it went down, my puppies. Uncle Stolly's grocery store romance turned full-blown produce apocalypse. Was it worth it? Honestly, Ashley's smile almost made up for the security escort. Almost. Stallion never backs down. Unless the exit door is closer than the dignity he just lost. This isn't even the craziest thing that happened to me. So stick around, subscribe, hit the like, and I'll tell you the rest. And hey, got a story you want me to read as Stolly himself? Drop it in the comments. Until the next embarrassment. Nick, the Stallion, Navarro.